Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. We're back again with another GVG analysis in the 5v5 Invitational tournament for the end of Beta 3. So, yeah, I've had some improvements to the PC today, so please comment below. Just first things first, please comment below if you hear any improvements on the audio. But yeah, you should hear no more fans now, all going well. I am actually recording this really late at night. I've just woke up. I actually didn't manage to record a video. So, here we go. So we have Zorn versus, I believe it's Overlords, if I'm not incorrect, but we'll find out quickly. Okay, Zorn versus Metatrone. Zorn, a very dominant team. I'm actually trying to find the engagement here. Zorn, a very dominant team during the beta, very strong team, running the Clarent, Carrion, Curse Staff, Great Curse Staff, the One-Handed Holy with the ISC crits, and Lugsy on the Arcane. This was the first Arcane we'd actually seen in the tournament. Very interesting to see the Arcane. I think it was, like I said, the first one we had seen for the entirety of the tournament. We see Neeks, Kodgi, Arkiz, on the Metatrone side, running the Arcane, One-Handed Holy, and Demonic Staff, as well as Chrysing running that Carrion, and Spectral running the Clarence. So running a very similar team in the grand scheme of things. We don't see a direct tank on either side. We do see a lot of damage go on to both teams, basically. We see a lot of damage going on to Neeks. That's a very interesting choice from Finale to put so much pressure onto someone wearing plate, but obviously it works for him, so we do see someone go down. Now, if we actually just take a quick look back there, we see Finale and Makor. Obviously they've worked together for a long time. They're putting so much pressure on that backline. They're just constantly there. We see Lugsy with the Arcane Beam really early just to put some pressure out. Obviously Neek does the same to Spectral. They both get good mighty swings off to hit as many people as possible. And at this point in the fight, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members of the Metatrone team on around 50% or lower health. The amount of pressure being put out by the frontliners of Zorn, with the Curse Staff being able to just sit at the back, obviously Bill on the Curse Staff, being able to just sit at the back, put damage out, and not have to worry about anything. He was never under pressure here, and he did so much damage as well, just being able to sit there. Obviously that Field of Death means that they weren't able to top anyone up. So it's a massive change in this fight. A massive, like, just direction of this fight. Zorn have the controlling position in this fight from start to finish. We see Neeks here, obviously full plate Arcane, but Finale with that double armor shred from the Curse and the Carrion, able to put so much damage onto him, and he just melts so quickly. As you can see, he does go down here, and that's pretty much where it goes downhill from on Metatrone. You do see Chrysing trying to get Morgana Raven out on to hit as many people as possible. Obviously, Metatrone really couldn't do much in that position. What I would potentially like to see from them is actually, basically, they were running almost exactly the same comp on both sides, and that's great. However, they kind of don't counter each other. So the team that has the better shot calling, better target switching, all of this is the team that takes the lead. And obviously Zorn have played this team for a very long time, played it well, and they've played together for a very long time. The synergy is definitely there, and they just had the superior target calling in this fight. They knew who to focus at the start, got 2 Clothies really low, which means they had a lot of damage to heal up, and then they knew that they could swap onto Neeks with that double armor pierce and drop him so quickly that he's just not able to do anything. So a very good show from the Zorn guys in the first fight. Potentially Metatrone, I'd have actually liked to see them drop the... So going off that fight solely, I'd actually like to see Arcane dropped from the Metatrone team, run the Mace, run the Hammer even potentially, just something that can peel them frontliners away from the Metatrone backliners, because I think that's what they need in this fight. Moving on then, I'm going to try and find the second engagement. Should be anywhere around here. We do see them running in now. So Zorn don't change anything. I believe Metatrone don't change anything either, so that's interesting to know that they didn't opt for the changes. Both trying to secure the middle. So at this point here, this is a really important part of this fight. Zorn control the middle first, so that's the first thing. We see 3 members of Metatrone that haven't managed to push up the choke. We see the Arcane Beam already coming out onto from Neeks onto Chrysing, I believe, or Spectral, but certainly one of them, and cancelling due to range. So this is 2 major disadvantages for the Metatrone team right now, and they must know, like, they have to look at this situation now and realise we're in a bad spot. What can we do about it? Yeah, so we watch the fight, we see Boo zoning them with that great curse, we see Finale dropping the Morgana Raven down the stairs, and Macro and Finale are just able to put so much pressure onto the backliners without taking any damage at all. And the backliners of Zorn with that healer, arcane, and a tanky curse just aren't really able to... They're not, like, Metatrone aren't really able to capitalise on this split from Zorn. Macro then getting the beam and putting some damage onto Kodgi, and again, Finale Macro able to put out so much pressure between the two of them. Macro does get really low here, but he knows he's always safe. He still has cooldowns up, he can still fall back. Finale here getting really low, but still knows he can fall back at any time. And we see Boo and Lugsy sitting at the top of the stairs, knowing they are so safe just to put out so much pressure. I definitely think they were just outpositioned here in this fight, or the Metatrone team were outpositioned in this fight. Zorn had the middle cap, the middle area first. We see both arcane beams coming out just to put as much damage as possible, both running to the backliners, but Macro and Finale have put so much pressure onto the Metatrone backliners that Kodgi literally has no mana right now. At this point in time, we see Macro get very low, and that's kind of over-engaging. We do see Spectral actually trying to do what he can to put pressure onto Dagalef and Boo. He does go very low there and having to use everything to escape. Zorn are just... Dagalef still got 40% mana. We see so much more pressure coming out of the Zorn, and they're still holding that choke point, knowing that they've got a safe location there at all times. And I like this. I like the fact that Zorn stick to their guns. Metatrone do fall back to try and draw them away from that choke, and I like this decision from them. It actually forces Finale and Macro to go really forward, and a couple of times they've got them low, but just haven't been able to finish. I think the Arcane was good. It allowed more survivability, but potential peels would have suited them maybe slightly better. We don't even see a kill come out here, so this is a very long fight. This is one of the longest fights of the tournament so far. Arceus does go down to Macro and Finale, finally. And, yeah, so Metatrone, in fairness... So I'll talk about the guilds individually. So Zorn, in this fight, they got the positional advantage, they pressed it, and they held their position. Boo, Dagalef, and Lugsy were all sat on that choke, around that choke, knowing that they could retreat to at any point, they could take pressure, and they were fine to deal with it solo. Macro and Finale then were able to just do pretty much whatever they wanted in this fight, uncontrolled. And when you leave a carrying cooler with bleeds, resist armor shred, and a healing reduction, double healing reduction, and then you leave Macro with the massive burst of the mighty swing, you're just not really... You're going to take so much damage if they are left uncontrolled. On the Metatrone team, they saw the positional advantage from Zorn, potentially a little bit too late, but they saw the positional advantage. They did fall back, and I do like this, because as you can see, it drew the fight to them, and that's a really big move. But again, the frontliners of Metatrone team, they have the carrying cooler, they have the Clarent. They can do exactly the same as the Zorn team's doing. They have exactly the same team comp in the grand scheme of things, actually able to put slightly more pressure out with that Field of Death from the demonic staff if he gets under a target that both the Clarent and the Carrion's focusing. So what I would have liked to have seen is the Clarent and Carrion from Metatrone, Chrysing and Spectral just diving onto one of the backliners and putting so much pressure out, and Metatrone potentially playing the offensive team, but they just didn't really get a position to in this fight. They took so much pressure constantly. Kodki was constantly healing, turret healing, and Neeks actually had to spend a lot of time where he had the arcane beam off cooldown but wasn't able to use it because he was shielding people, and that just became more important. So we do see a 2-0 win here by Zorn. Obviously they do clean up here. I mean, it's still close. Boo's very low, Macro's low, Dagalef's low with no mana. It's a very close fight. It was a lot better the second time when Metatrone realised that they lost the positional advantage. They did have to fall back a little bit, but it was a very close fight. And well played to both teams. So we will see Zorn in the next fight tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. I'm going to be covering all of these fights. Again, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Evoke and Co at obviously Sandbox. Allowing me to do these videos is much appreciated. So guys, go and follow them. Go and check them out on the stream tomorrow at 18:30-ish time UTC. But yes, guys, so like, comment, subscribe. Please comment about the audio, if it's any better, worse than usual. But other than that, thank you for watching, and catch you later, guys. Goodbye.